Hey everyone, how are you doing today? This is Kirsten here, and you are watching or listening to A Better Way with Kirsten podcast. If you are watching this video right now on YouTube, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a new episode from me. And if you're listening to it on iTunes, please leave me a 5-star rating and review. That would be very much appreciated because that way more people will find this show too and get help. And what I'm helping you here on this podcast is chronic pain and other chronic sensations. And they are known as TMS, so tension myositis syndrome. I always like to give a little bit of an introduction in case you are new here. And these are the sensations and pains that are coming from your dysregulated nervous system and overly stressed brain. And the way you know that this is the case is that when you have been trying to get help for your chronic sensations for a long time, you have done all the tests and seen all the doctors and tried all the alternative medicine and everything, and nothing has truly helped you, then there's a really good chance that what you are dealing with is exactly what we're talking about here on this podcast. So if the problem is coming from a dysregulated nervous system and super stressed brain, then the solution is to regulate the nervous system and create safety in the nervous system and in the brain. And this is what I'm helping you to do here on this podcast. One of the things that people with chronic sensations also deal with is insomnia or any kind of sleep problem. So it could be difficulty falling asleep, or it could be waking up way too early and not being able to go back to sleep. And it could be just like staying up all the time and like several nights in a row when it's really, really bad. And this is another sign of nervous system dysregulation. And like I said, many people who have these chronic pains, chronic sensations going on also have this. Sometimes people sleep all right and they can have still these chronic sensations. So it's not like you always have insomnia problems too, but many times this is actually the case and was for me for so many years, and sometimes still is. Sometimes it still pops up, and then I know that my nervous system has not been as regulated as it should be or could be in order for me to sleep well. Now, if you have had these sleep problems for a while, I'm sure that you have tried so many different things already, because the internet is full of these recommendations, and you go on Instagram and everybody's telling you the things that you should do, or there's this new supplement you haven't tried yet, and so you're desperate to try that too. But you have also, of course, done all the other things like, yes, I'm making sure my room is dark, and I'm making sure my room is not too hot, and I'm making sure I'm not eating too close to bedtime, and I'm making sure to keep the lights lower in the evening. You may have tried all these things, and you've tried, like I said, supplements, maybe taken melatonin, maybe drank chamomile tea, maybe you've heard like this supplement will absolutely fix you. Maybe there's been some CBD, whatever it is for you. You probably have tried so many things and spent a good amount of money on all of that stuff. And I know what that's like because I've done it too. I have done it too, to the point where when somebody mentioned, oh, you should make sure your room is dark, I literally got so angry that I was like, I freaking want to punch you right now because you think I haven't tried it yet? And this was my anger that was really coming up. And I was so frustrated, so angry. I'm like, you have no idea. And then the more you stay up at night, the more irritable you are anyway. So here, somebody who is probably meaning something really good to say, oh, try this, and you've tried it already, it just really makes you even more angry. This is where I was. And also, when I was, listening to podcasts or reading books, every time when they were mentioning something about sleep, they were like, just sleep more, just improve your sleep to build more muscle, or to have better blood pressure, or to have healthier heart. And this solution was always just sleep better, just sleep more, and establish a proper bedtime routine, as if this is going to fix everything. You may have also heard this advice like get outside in the morning, get some sunlight in your eyes. That's going to help to reset your circadian rhythm. And of course, yes, go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time every single day. Now, all these things that I have talked about here, right? Dark room, cool room, chamomile tea, CBD, bedtime routine, morning sunlight, they can be very helpful if you haven't tried any of these things yet. So go ahead and try it. If you haven't, give it a shot. Also, I would say eating, right? So eating so that your blood sugar is not all over the place. Eating high protein meals so that your blood sugar stays more stable is also very important. If you haven't tried that, try it. Another thing is exercise. If you're not exercising yet, try that. I have right now one client who has worked with me for a little over 2 months, and she's telling me every week in our check-in sheets that she sleeps better nights when she has exercised the previous day. So it's so often that she has told me that. So all of these things can be very, very helpful if you are struggling with poor sleep. But if you are already doing all these things and you're not feeling better, then truly hearing more of the same advice or hearing these horror stories, how this terrible sleep is going to probably mess up your entire life and your health and everything, it's not helpful. It's just not helpful. And if you're dealing with the same stuff that I also dealt with, I think it started when I was around 21 years old, and I'm 39 now, so it has been 18 years. And then, of course, recently has gotten a lot better since discovering all this work and nervous system regulation work. But I still have sometimes nights here and there when they're not so good. But what I have learned is that we have to stop looking for the solution from the external stuff, such as chamomile tea or red light or something like this. And we have to start looking into where is our nervous system on a daily basis. And when you think about it, like what states could it be in? Well, it could be stressed or it could be chill and relaxed. And now my question to you is, where is your nervous system? In which one of these states? Is it calm and chill? Do you feel relaxed most of the day? Do you feel like you have ease and flow and you have a good rhythm and things are going well? Or are you more in this frantic state where you're doing stuff all the time? You are feeling like you're vibrating inside, and not with positive energy, but with like jitters, right? You have this restless energy, you have long to-do lists. Is this where your nervous system is at all the time? Because if this is the case, then there's no wonder that you cannot sleep at night. But you can change it, of course. So your nervous system is on high alert because it feels like something dangerous might happen at any minute. So it's always in a state of fight or flight. And it continues to be this way also at night, because it really thinks, like, when you think about it right now, your nervous system is thinking something bad is going on. I have to make sure that I don't miss it. I make sure that nothing bad happens to us. So it is alert. So now, does it make sense it just goes to sleep and forgets about being alert? No, it doesn't. It continues to be on a high alert at night also, because this is what it has been sensing all day long. Some trouble is going on. There's some things that I have to panic about. I have to, make sure that nothing bad happens. And the same thing continues into the night too. Now, of course, it is normal to have this activation during certain times of the day. And that's why we have to have a flexible nervous system so we can handle these things. Something stresses you out, it's a temporary thing. Okay, your nervous system goes into this high alert state and alerts you to be aware, right? We have to protect ourselves. Cool. But then it should come down. What would be a good example of that? Something happens in traffic. You nearly, almost hit somebody. Yes, your nervous system will alert you. Oh, you got to be more careful. Can't do that, right? Watch out. Okay. And then it should come down. So this is how the system is designed to work. But it's not designed to work so that we are freaking out all the time and we are on high alert all the time. We're getting an email, and we're getting a text, and we get a notification, and we watch the news, and we do all of these things. The nervous system thinks that there's always something going on. They were always about to hit somebody on the freeway. And that's why it is in the way that it is right now. It's hyperactivated for no real reason. Right? So I want to list here some things that are causing your nervous system to be on such high alert during the day so that it continues into your nighttime too. And take a look at this list. Listen, and maybe even take out a pen and paper and write down how many of these things are true to you. What do you resonate with? Okay, so here's the first one. Being on the go, go, go all day long, not resting and not taking breaks. So the signal that we hear all the time when we are go, 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 is like we cannot settle down. We can't drop the guard down. We have to be on a high alert, right? And then that continues into the night. We don't take breaks to reset and calm our nervous system down. Well, that's what we get at night too. The second thing, if you have this habit of texting with 25 friends on 10 different text messaging and social media apps, and in addition to that, you're pressuring yourself to get back to everyone right this moment. When you get the text, you're like, I have to get back right now. And no, now I have to get check this other app. And oh no, there is a Facebook notification. What was that about? And hey, there's Instagram DM. I have to respond to that immediately. That is so much. Do you see that? Where your nervous system might get on high alert, even though there's obviously nothing dangerous in getting a text message. But if you're pressuring yourself so hard to talk to everybody at the same time and immediately responding, and to the place where sometimes your hands might be shaking because you are just so anxious, then again, you're never coming out of this state. You keep feeding this state if you don't take breaks and if you think you have to do everything immediately. The next thing is this: being on social media every day of the week, and also not having a reasonable start and stop time in the morning and in the evening. Social media can be quite crazy, right? And with all its notifications. So another note, I highly recommend that if you have any notifications on, you turn them off. Please turn them off. Do yourself a favor. Check in a couple of times a day, see what's up, but don't have these notifications on like bing, bing, bing. Do you see what it's doing to your nervous system? Now, also being on social media every day of the week, you're likely, if you grab your phone in the morning, you're sleeping so that your phone is next to your bed. And it's next to your bed because this is the last thing you did at night. You checked your social media or something on the phone. Of course, your nervous system is on high alert. Think about it this way. Am I creating more stress or am I reducing? So I like to call it producing or reducing. When you're on your phone every day of the week, on social media especially, and you don't have a morning time where you take it slow and maybe do some movement or have your favorite drink or something. You don't have that routine. In the evening, you don't have a routine of like reading a book or chilling or relaxing, but your routine is phone, right? Do you see how you are not reducing your stress? You're producing it. And that's why your nervous system is on high alert and you cannot sleep at night. The next thing, when you are packing your day with all kinds of tasks, to-dos, household works, work tasks, meetings, talking to people, running errands. Some people have their calendars so booked that there's no empty spaces at all. If this is you, then again, you are on the go all the time. And I understand that some of the things have to be done. You cannot just not do it. You cannot I'm not going to pick up my kid from school. Yeah, that kind of has to be done, right? But some things are there just because you just pack your schedule with more stuff, even though it's not even necessary. I'm sure when you look at your schedule, there are some things that you actually don't need to do. A lot of things. And also, by the way, if you reduce that social media time and phone checking time, you get a lot of your time back to do the things that actually matter. So think about it. Another thing, eating like you're being chased by a wild animal. That's how a lot of people eat, on their computers, on their phones. And this is again not a state. where your nervous system is relaxed, right? So maybe you have heard the expression rest and digest mode, right? So this is our parasympathetic mode. This is the calm and settled place where we want to be, where we want our nervous system to be able to rest and relax and also digest. It's called rest and digest. Now, if you're eating on the go, you're eating super fast, you're eating while you're standing up and taking stuff out of the fridge, eating this way or eating in the car. Back when I did a lot more nutrition coaching, I had sometimes people ask me, give me some quick ideas, some stuff that I can eat on the go in the car. And I was like, I don't want you to be eating on the go in the car. How about you sit down and eat? And again, I understand it's not always possible. So of course, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. It's better to eat something on the go than not eat at all, right? You have to fuel your body. But can you create more space? Is the phone there while you're eating because there's actually something you need to do, or is it just like because you're scrolling? Is your lunch break, are you on your computer because you actually have to get some work thing done that really cannot wait? Or is it just like, might as well multitask? Why is it? And if you are not in your rest and digest mode, that's probably also why you have digestive problems, because you're not just digesting well. And of course, eating on the go, because you're so busy, also oftentimes means that sleeping is more difficult too, because we are in this sympathetic fight or flight state, including while we're eating. The next thing that you may have to look at in yourself is if you're watching the news and consuming other media without realizing that this is their goal to create fear. Now, do you want to be pulled into it and increase your hypersympathetic mode? Sympathetic is the one where you're feeling high stressed, high alert, go, jittery, anxious. All these things that contribute to your nighttime, waking up, being alert, thinking, doing more thinking, because you are getting pulled into this media that is very it's very like turning people against each other and creating more anger, creating more anxiety, creating more frustration. Now you're thinking about it, you're getting all this negativity into you. The more negativity you have in you, the worse you feel emotionally, the more pain you have, the more insomnia you have. The next thing is doing super high intensity workouts all the time. So if you are always doing something that's like fast-paced hit type of stuff, go, move as quickly as you can, don't rest between your reps. If you do that all the time, and then especially you come home, you don't take time to rest and recover and kind of breathe this thing out and get yourself back into this parasympathetic, but instead you go from this high intensity mode to now standing up, eating stuff right out of the fridge quickly because you have to run somewhere. You are again on super high alert. You're never settled, never calm. Very hard to bring your nervous system to rest and digest place and convince it that there's no danger, because your actions are doing the opposite. They're showing you that there is big bad danger because you're doing things so rushed, running around, doing this intense stuff, eating on the go, rushing. The other thing, and this is the last one here, is suppressing emotions. If you suppress your emotions, you ignore that you feel something, guess when are you processing them? When is your brain trying to process them, trying to make sense of them? It's at night when you're trying to rest. So all these things are going on with you at night. And I've talked to so many people who tell me that, but resting is uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know what to do with myself. It's awful. Like I can't sit still and do it. Well, then start with something a little bit slower or shorter. Maybe take a 5-minute break if you can't take 20-minute break. Maybe tell yourself, I don't have to get back to each and every message right now. I don't have to check my social media 5 times per hour. I was so guilty of this. I used to be so guilty of this. I was on my phone all the time. And looking back, I was like, what was I doing? It was a true addiction, like picking up my phone and looking, like opening Instagram right away. Like when things, and this is where I started noticing patterns too. Something got uncomfortable, something that I didn't want to feel. I ran into some issue with work or had something else going on. It was like this instant thing to grab the phone and see what's up. Just scroll. Just scroll or see like who's seen your stories or how many likes you got. All this was like a machine. It was like, oh, I'm just gonna check this, like doing it like a robot, like not even thinking what you're doing. So if you are in it and you have no awareness of what you're doing, then you have to become aware and say, oh, I'm doing this again, right? I picked up my phone again. This adds to your nervous system dysregulation, right? So all of these things, you got to create a little bit more space into your day to take some moments of peace and quiet, and don't watch the crazy stuff on media. This really isn't helping you. It really isn't. So these are all the reasons why your nervous system can come down to calm and settled state, because you're just not creating this environment for it. All day long you're going and then you're thinking that, oh, now I'm just gonna turn off the lights and that should shut off my brain activity too, but it doesn't, because your nervous system continues to be on high alert. There's no button in the nervous system that we can push and then make it quiet like that. It's not. It's like what you do during the day that determines your night too. So these are the things that I highly recommend that you look at if you are dealing with insomnia. And of course, this all adds to your anxiety and your chronic pain too, or whatever chronic symptom it is that you're dealing with. It absolutely adds, because in order to heal and recover, in order to establish this foundation, which is regulation, staying calm, we actually have to practice this too. We can't just like talk about it and do just one meditation once a week. It is about changing your lifestyle too, seeing how are we walking, how we're moving through the day, and then make adjustments there. And when you do that, and when you do it consistently, the whole level, the baseline level of your nervous system, it starts coming down from this hyperactivated state, more like down and down and down, until it's more regulated to the place where you still have ups and you still have like downs. It's fluctuating, but your baseline is pretty healthy. You come back out of those, those ups and downs, extremes. You come back to the center, and your whole balance just gets so much better, and you're going to sleep better. But you can't sleep better as long as you keep yourself in this hyperactivated state and think, only one more thing. Let me do this one more email, one more this, one more that, still do the dishes, blah, blah, blah. Like one more, just this one more thing. As long as you keep doing it, you're never settling down. You're never sending your nervous system the message of safety. And this is what it really is about, right? We want to create the sense of safety in our nervous system and in our brain so that it can chill. But we can't create this safety by just saying I'm safe, or by just saying, oh, I'm going to do this tomorrow. No, it has to start today. So think about it. See if these things resonated with you. Which one did? Which ones maybe not so much? Let me know in the comments on YouTube. And you can also, of course, contact me on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Take care.